Go.
Hello, everyone. This is Dr. John Mason. I'm with Masters of the Journey, and we're going to continue our conversation with Glenn Joseph, who's a longtime student of the Hopi prophecy. Right now, we're going to talk briefly about the presentation that he's going to be making on September 17th, which is a Sunday in September in Bellingham. And welcome, Glenn. How are you?
I'm doing well, John. Thank you.
Good. And we talked a little bit in the other recording about your background, but I'm excited to know more about what people will see and hear and expect from the brief presentation, the introduction, if you will, that they're going to be getting in September 17th to the Hopi prophecy. Could you fill us in?
Yeah, it'll be a multimedia presentation. So I have a large screen LCD that I project images, of the life plan of Grandfather David, of my teacher, and the different symbols on the glyph and supporting images, because it's a very visual as well as auditory set of teachings. And so I used to do it old school when John learned from Grandpa David. It was just the diagram and just a living human being going through it. And so I stuck to that format for a good time, but then I embraced the audio and the visual technology, and it really comes alive. So it's a visual feast of very cool images, and what we'll be doing in the multimedia presentation is giving an overview of the 10,000 years that this story is. We'll go through each of the symbols. They're like component parts. You have to understand each of the parts to have the whole machine go. And so I will briefly go over the component parts, and like I said in the first part of our interview, focus on the return trail, the connecting line between the upper road and the lower road, because the upper road fails and stops. The lower road goes on forever. And we have an opportunity at this point in the journey to align ourselves with that lower road, which is the true path in life, the life of sustainability and regenerativity.
Great. So you're going to be explaining at least some of the components of this Hopi prophecy diagram.
Correct.
And then that's going to lead into a much larger workshop where we're really going to get to see on October 1st how to really apply this and integrate this into our lives.
Yes.
And it's a blessing to have you share this information with us, because so many of us are on a spiritual path. We're trying to increase our consciousness, and this is just one different cultural way of beginning to understand how we can awaken and follow a path that will lead us to where we're supposed to be.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to have you just finish up in just a moment, but if anybody wants information and wants to sign up for this presentation in September, which is on the 17th, a Sunday at 1 o'clock, you go to Facebook, our Facebook page at facebook.com/Masters of the Journey, all one word, Masters of the Journey, and we will have information about how to get to the presentation in Bellingham on the 17th. And do you have any closing suggestions or words for us, Glenn?
Well, if this is at all interesting and it rings your bell, then come on down. I've had people show up at the workshops who just saw a poster and they said, I know I need to be there. And they might have no background whatsoever with this type of thing. And so they just come, and they always have something wonderful to share and take something very valuable home with them. This is the human story. Everyone is involved with this, whether they realize it or not. And so it resonates as being true and relevant to everyone who shows up. So I just encourage anyone who is at all interested and feels like they should be there to please come and share and listen and participate, be a part of this.
And I know that guidance got you started on this path, and guidance is leading us all to sit in front of you in this prophecy and learn what we can for ourselves as individuals. And if you're at all interested, I encourage you to come on September 17th at 1 o'clock in Bellingham, so that you can get an introduction and see if you really want to spend some time in an all-day workshop with us. So I appreciate your time, Glenn. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And we'll have one more recording. Again, if you need more information, it's at Facebook. Masters of the Journey is the webpage. We'll see you. We're going to talk about the greater workshop on October 1st in our next recording. And thank you for paying attention.